I'm Dale Clift. I'm the CEO of Nurse on Call. I've been in home care 15 years. I ran one of the large national companies. It got sold about 8 years ago. I had a year non-compete, and I moved to Florida and went fly fishing for a year. 7 years ago, I bought Nurse on Call. Nurse on Call had one office, 1.5 offices, had one office in Lake Worth, a small office in Melbourne. Then 5 years ago, we bought a company on the West Coast called Best Choice. Best Choice we bought out of bankruptcy. They had a number of licenses on the West Coast. At that time, between the two companies, we were about $12 million in revenue. Now this year, ending this year, will be about $145 million in revenue. And we are now the largest Medicare provider in the state of Florida by a magnitude, probably by $40 to $60 million, my best estimate. This year we will do 1.5 million visits. We have 23 offices, going to 24. And so we're very proud of that. And why we're very proud, one of the things I'm most proud of, we went from basically having 30 clinicians when I bought the company to now we have about 1,700. And all of the recruiting has been by word of mouth. And as you see behind me, and you'll see some other things throughout this, pictures of the walls, all of our offices are painted this way. I'm sitting actually in the training room of our Lake Worth office. So that's what we have done. We have been successful. We're very proud of that success. But let's talk about the philosophy, because I think the most important thing is what makes us different. And we're not saying we're better, we're not saying we're worse, but we are very different than most of the home care companies out there. We believe to be successful in home care, you got to have a three-legged stool. And a three-legged stool is meaning we got to have a great sales department, we got to have great office staff, and we got to have great field clinicians. And we think and believe very strongly that what makes you different is your overall customer service. And it goes from all the way across the board. And one of the things I found a long time ago in home care, everybody thinks they have the hardest job. The salespeople think they have the hardest job. The people in the office think they have the hardest job because they got to deal with the salespeople on one side, the clinicians on the other side, and the referral sources on the other side, and the patient families on the other side. The field people think they got the hardest job because their day is never planned. They think they have a plan, then somebody will call them up and say the patient went to the hospital. Could you do one extra visit, da-da-da-da-da. So we're all used to these things. So we really strive to make sure those three groups work together as a team. And we'll talk about some of the things we try to do. One of the things that makes us very different is everybody, I'm sure a lot of you out there have worked for home care companies before and known people who work for home care, read literature about home care. One of the things they talk about all the time is their programs. We do not have programs. Our whole philosophy is to make sure we do what the doctor tells us to do, and then base that upon the individual environments of the patient, because we know patients are different. Before I get further into that, let me talk about patient care for a minute. All I want everyone to do is make sure they provide the patient care that they would want their mother or their children to receive if we were treating them. If we do that correctly every time, it will solve 99% of the problems out there. If you walk into that patient's home and you got a smile on your face, it is so important to that care. We are not just about putting a bandage on a wound. We're there to take care of the patient, not only from a physical, but a psychological, social basis. We are the only contact a lot of these people have. We have that, and one of the people we got to take care of a lot, usually the people most scared are the loved ones of the patients. They're nervous, they have anxiety. If we go in and be pleasant with them and smile, and when they call the office, we smile, that's what makes us different. Because we realize it's a team sport, and we're only as strong as our weakest player. So we really want to make sure that everybody on the team is contributing, everybody has the right attitude, everybody cares about that patient, care about that referral sources. We have grown by doing that. And take that extra few moments to realize how blessed we are to be able not only to be in a business where our paycheck's clear, we have fun, but we really make a difference in people's lives. This year we'll do 1.5 million visits, and been in this business long enough where there have been good times and bad times. I look at those 1.5 million visits as we're delivering 1.5 million miracles every day, because we're making a difference in people's life. And how many people do you know, friends, have the opportunity to really make a difference in people's lives every day? And thank you, and all of you are part of that growth. Thank you all very much.